Live from the gorgeous Prince George's. This is the one and only, the illustrious, soon to be world famous Shattered Illusionz Podcast.
Well, I take you to the cranking shop.
Will, don't say nothing to me, man. Enjoy my new cranking shop and shut up, man.
That's the slow bounce version.
Hey, man. A couple announcements, guys. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Rumble at Shattered Illusionz. We've been growing at a pretty good rate. Any aspiring entrepreneurs or businesses, please DM us on the page to get on the show before we blow up. Make sure you do that because soon we'll be too full to letting you guys on here, honestly. Second, ladies, you want to come on the Shattered Illusionz After Dark edition, come down here and get some of the smoke. Let us know. DM us at the page, either me, Will, K. D, anybody on the show. So before we get into our entrepreneur for the night, I got to check in on my boys. Oliver Fortune, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, bro?
Doing good, man. Make sure y'all follow us on Rumble. You know, we do a lot of controversial things. So when we get canceled on YouTube, make sure you follow us. Also, free Top G and ladies, if you ever flake or cancel, you done. You're not coming back on.
Bart. Will, how you doing, bro?
I'm good.
Now, but before I get to our lady for the night, I got to talk about this. Guys, we did a fire episode last night. It was so good, man, but we lost the audio. And I've been pretty much mulling over that the whole time, but we'll talk about that another time.
We got to make some Blame Will shirts.
What?
Blame Will.
What?
Like, it was good. Like, actually, you know what? I'll take full responsibility because, I should have done the shit. All right, but now to get to our main guest of the night, I'm a little bit weary about it.
Oh,
I'm excited she came down here though. Miss Tiff, you
yes.
want to do something for us? Introduce the people, tell them who you are, what you do. Give a little brief elevator pitch.
Okay. Well, my name is Tiffany Lucas of the Lucas Ladies of Real Estate, proudly serving the DMV area. I am a real estate agent licensed in Virginia and Maryland. I have been in the business for about 3.5 years now. I absolutely love it. My mom is the reason that I got started in the business. She's been in the business for over 15 years.
Okay.
She is my business partner, and she's licensed in DC and Maryland. So, of course, together we cover the whole DMV. I never aspired to be a real estate agent at first. I kind of just fell into it.
Okay.
So I was in college. I went to UMES. I have a business degree.
Okay.
So one summer I came home and I just could not find a job to save my life. And Black moms, they like, girl, you're not gonna sit here and do nothing.
You ain't gonna be in my
Yeah,
house.
you're not gonna do nothing, girl. So she was like, you're gonna take this real estate class, I'm gonna sign you up. And I really was doing it really just to shut her up. Like I really still had no interest. And then I took the class and I was like, okay, I actually like it. Like I can see myself doing this. So I got my license that summer. I took the class, passed it, took the test the first time, passed it. Graduated on a Friday. Monday was my first day in the office. So I've been doing it ever since.
So you going like right into it?
Just straight into it.
Okay, let's go back before you really got into, because I like kind of going to the genesis of people, like the beginning. Okay, so like where'd you grow up? You mentioned your mom. Talk a little bit about that and all that.
Yeah, so I grew up in Prince George's County, Oxon Hill area.
Okay, yeah.
I went to Oxon Hill High School, Oxon Hill Middle School. I also went to Eugene Burroughs, which is now called Academic Academy. I went to Fort Hood Elementary School. So I grew up in Fort Washington, Oxon Hill area. My mom has always done real estate. I just really never paid it no mind. Like she used to have me in the office and at the open houses. I just really paid it no mind at all. Like I had no interest. But looking back, every single job I've had has been a sales job. Like my first job was at Last Stop.
Don't tell me
she was finessing, bro. She's like, oh, you look good in them jeans.
That will follow you around in the store.
What you a size 32?
So wait, just real quick. What's
look good with this with the hat?
Yeah,
on.
what do they do with that in terms of like is it the training or something? Because if you walk into every Last Stop, it's like that.
It's a high pressure situation.
So the way the pay is at Last Stop is you get like it's a really low percentage. I think it's like when I worked there, I think it was like 2%. And of $100, you know what I'm saying? That's $2 right? So you get 2% of everything that you sell.
Shit.
If the hours that you work, if your 2% commission is less than what you would have made minimum wage, then you get paid minimum wage for all of those hours. If it's higher, then you get paid your commission, and that's it. So people was in there fighting for their life, trying to steal sales. Like that job really taught me how to stand my ground and how to stand up for myself. Cause like my first couple months, like people was stealing all my sales. Like I was lining them up and everybody was just snatching them left and right. It was so bad. And I had to really create an alter ego coming into work and like really, put my big girl pants on and figure it out. Cause it was a high stress situation.
And I know it's about last time. They always got like the cute girls in there. It's like they knew what they were doing, trying to do them high pressure tactics and stuff like that. But you're saying like it was 2% of like you basically would get 2% commission off of anything that you sold.
Yeah, and that's
trash.
only exactly, and that's only if you sold a certain amount. So let's say that you had a whole good 3 days, and then you had 2 dry days. Your check will be minimum wage for all the hours that you work. So it was like either you work for minimum wage or you sell your ass off and try to get the 2% commission, make something.
They had y'all roughing like that for 2%. I mean,
Yeah.
so if you sell $1,000 worth of stuff, so I mean, like that ain't shit.
That's
dog.
$20.
That's nothing.
That's
nothing.
$20.
Yeah.
But let's kind of get out of that though, because I mean, that sales job, because I mean, everything is sales when you boil it down to it. Okay. So you got out of that sales job. How did that prepare you to kind of go into real estate? Because real estate's a form of sales too.
So I didn't stop there. That was my first sales job.
Okay.
Then I worked at Beauty for You in the wig department, and we had a although it wasn't commission based, we still had a goal that we had to meet, and we was very competitive with the other Beauty for You's in the area. Okay. So I did that. Then I worked and for the marketing department at Wyndham Resorts, which basically sounds better than it is. I basically was convincing people to go to timeshare presentations. And not only did I have to convince them to go to timeshare presentations, I had to convince them to pay me to do it. And yes.
I see she's a ultimate finesse back
I was going to say she had all the red flag jobs.
Yes, every single red flag job like I have had. So it's like, but everything has built me up. Like so the last stop job taught me how to stand up for myself. So now that translates into me standing up for my clients, to other agents, veteran agents. Like I'm not backing down. I'm not scared of you. I don't care if you've been in the business 30 years and not only been here 3. I'm still gonna say what I gotta say. You're not gonna down talk me. You're not gonna push me to the side. I'm gonna stand up for my client. The Wyndham job taught me how to be comfortable approaching people that I don't know, letting them know what I do, being able to have those uncomfortable conversations that take place a lot in the real estate world. Like I have to have a lot of tough conversations with people, and it can be awkward, but through all of those jobs, it's taught me how to have those awkward conversations in a loving and caring way where it comes across as, okay, I did just crush your feelings and break your heart, but I still give you hope in the same breath. So you don't feel it all the way.
But it's false hope, would you say?
No, it's not false hope.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's false hope at all. I know it's just a not right now. And I'm a true believer of what's for you is always going to be for you. Nobody can take that from you, but it's up to you to go get it, right? So if you do your part and you go after what you want, then, God going to have something for you. It might not look like what you want it to look like, but what's for you is going to be for you in this moment.
So I kind of want to harp on the sales thing for a minute too. How did you think you got good at sales? Because people don't really know, like selling is definitely an art, and if you aren't good at it, like it takes a lot to actually be able to like go to a person you never talked to before, like open them up, get them to feel comfortable with you, and then start selling them. It's like I try to compare it to this. Women don't understand that, even for us, like when we talk to a girl, that's sales too, because I have to come up to you, say something that you've never heard before, be charismatic, be good looking, captivate your attention. So how were you able to like kind of learn that skill of selling? Did you read books? Was it experience? What was it?
For me, it was experience growing up in a household where you had to have tough skin.
Mm.
Both my parents have no filter. My whole family is just crazy as hell. Okay. They say what they want to say, they do what they want to do. So just growing up in an environment of tough skin, and that tough skin allowed me to take rejection after rejection after rejection. Like it's something that you learn over time. Like after getting the same rejection so many times, you have to sit and say, okay, they keep saying this. What am I going to say back now? Right? How am I going to overcome that? So for me, it was just being able to have those failures time and time again and being strong enough and having enough of a thick skin to get up and still show up with a smile on my face and be able to do it all over.
Word, that's wise advice. So your mother, you said she was in real estate. You never considered it whatsoever. What was that kind of change in heart that you was like, you know what, maybe I could do this?
After I took the real estate class and I was actually interested in it, and then when I went to go take the final and I realized that I like passed with flying colors and majority of the class failed miserably. And I was just like, this was hard to y'all. Like I could do this in my sleep, honey. Like, so it was just that. And then I like when I got in the business, no matter how hard it is, I always stay because I like the flexibility of it, the hours, being able to make my own hours. I like being able to have every day is different in real estate. I don't have the same day every single day ever.
Sure.
You have different clients have different needs, different expectations. And it's kind of fun for me to be able to figure out and play some little psychology on the people to figure out what clients need. Like some clients are very solution based. They want to know facts only. Some clients are off straight off of, oh, this is pretty, I want it. Some clients are a mixture. So people respect and respond in different ways. So it's my job to really sit back, listen, shut up a little bit, ask the right questions and figure out what's important to them and what they're going to respond to. And then I got to kind of be a chameleon and turn into that so that they can respond to me in the way that I need them to get the deal done. That's
really deep. So I'm kind of glad you went down that road. What are some soft skills you think that needs to be successful to be a successful real estate agent that you need? You kind of went into it right there, but I kind of want you to expand on a little bit more if you don't mind.
One, I would say you definitely have to be resilient. You have to be strong. You can't let things consume you. Because sometimes, like when I first started, I would like really get emotional when my clients didn't get the house. And I'm like, dang, we put in a great offer. Why didn't we get it? Like you kind of have to be able to separate your feelings and understand that this is not your deal, but you're just here to guide them in the right path.
Sure.
So you really just have to have thick skin and you have to be a go-getter. Like people think that real estate is easy and all we do is open doors. No, like I can name a list of 15, 20, 30 things that I do on a regular. Like it's about being able to negotiate. It's about being able to talk to people, being able to get deal done, being able to deal with different businesses. People don't realize in a real estate transaction, you have the real estate agent, but you also have the title company. You also have the lender and pretty much every deal that you do. So you have to collaborate with other businesses, other people, and you really have to be solution-based in your thinking because in real estate, things go left all the time.
Right.
And me personally, I don't want to sit and dwell on who dropped the ball. I don't care who dropped the ball. Let's all find it, figure out what needs to be done to get it in the hoop so we can all get paid and go about our day. Like all of the blaming and finger pointing, I'm not here for that.
Right.
What do we need to do? Let's do it. Is it possible? Right? So
just being solution based is a big thing about being a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always tell guys the same exact way because like when you focus on problems seem to multiply. When you say, you know what, how can I fix this problem as opposed to focusing on, you get a lot farther in life. And I kind of can see that with you too. That's really awesome. So, who are some of your biggest influences besides your mother, of course, as far in your field and everything?
I have a couple people in the real estate industry that I look at and I'm like, okay, this is goals. In life, I would say my sister is a big inspiration to me. She's 7 years older than me, so she thinks she's my mom. So she's just a great person, and she's like a superwoman. She takes on a lot. When it comes to a celebrity, I know people think that it's weird, but one person I really look up to a lot is Steve Harvey. I know. I just love his story.
That must be a real estate thing.
I was gonna say,
And-
Will, who was the other real estate person on here that said Steve Harvey's the same? This
For
that was
real?
her favorite. Who was that?
Melody.
That was Melody. Yeah,
I
Melody.
love Steve
Shout out
Harvey
Melody. What about Steve Harvey gets you going?
because I love his story of, how hard his life was about him being home. He was homeless for 3 years in his 30s, and then he got his first job doing stand up, and just how everybody his whole life try to downplay his gift and how he was able to take that and like turn it around and make money. So a lot of times people don't understand what you're doing, or they try to downplay you or your gift. They try to make it seem like something negative, but through all of that he was able to turn it into something positive. He never gave up. He took hella no's. And like from somebody to go from living in their car for 3 years to look at his life now, mind you, he was in his mid 30s, living in his car for 3 years, to where he is now, just because he was unapologetically him. No matter how much people tried to beat him down or tell him that he wasn't good enough, he still was able to persevere and be him. And that's what made him a big success. And I just like that whole aspect, because I feel a lot of times I feel misunderstood and I feel scared to be myself kind of sometimes.
You scared to be yourself?
Yes, I am kind of scared.
I never got that vibe from you.
Okay, good. I'm hiding it well. So, like, sometimes I do feel a little scared to be myself. So, I do love Steve Harvey. And I listen to a lot of his little inspirational videos and stuff on YouTube, as far as, like...
Can I ask you this?
Yes.
His relationship advice, is it good or not?
Well, I don't really love him for his relationship advice. I love him for his life advice. I would say that's a whole different topic. He does have some good points, but I wouldn't say... but that's not why I say I love him for his relationship advice.
Did you read
for his real life?
Did you read Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man?
I saw the movie.
You didn't read the book?
No.
Okay. Because we kind of have a little bit of beef with Steve Harvey on this podcast, But I think, like you said, inspirational. He's really good with relationships. That ain't my favorite person. Oliver, you want to chime in here? All right, so we started Shattered Illusionz because there's a lot of bullshit in society, okay? Like social media, an illusion. Relationship advice, illusion. How to get generational wealth is normally an illusion too. What's an illusion in your field that you feel like that people would think is a common thing but might not be true?
One thing I would say is many people think that they need more money than they actually do.
Okay, expand on that.
To buy a house. So people think like, oh, I need 10,000, 20,000. I need to put 10% down, this down. And that's not always the case. Depending on your specific situation, you can get in the house for 5,000, 3,000, sometimes less.
Walk me through some numbers
just
here.
depends.
Like, okay, let's just say for simple math's sake, I want a $200,000 house. Okay, how much would I need to get in that $200,000 house? And not saying like this is an official thing, but just just some ballpark numbers here.
So it depends. And that's the thing. People don't realize everything in real estate is case by case. You two can literally buy the same house for the same price and have a different down payment, different mortgage amount, different cash to close.
Okay.
It's that serious.
Yeah.
So depending on your job, let's say a $200,000 house, typically you will be paying a total of 3 to 5%.
Okay.
Right. So what's that? So that's 10. So let's say $10,000. So 5% of $200,000 is $10,000, right? on my trigger.
I fucking suck at math. You
I think it
the wrong
is.
person.
I think it is.
Wait, hold on. 5% of 200,000.
10 G's.
It's 10,000.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So at the 5%, that's 10,000. But let's say it's very possible for you to get financing to cover $7,500 of that.
Okay.
And then you had started off with 10,000, you got financing for 75.
7,500.
Now you're looking at $2,500.
Okay.
So if you buying a house, and then it depends. Like if you are using your VA benefits, then your down payment is 0. And then your closing cost is about 2%, which you can also finance. So in most cases, they get money back at the table because let's say you're on that same 200,000. If you a VA, you take 3% from that. So now you only paying 2%.
Okay.
Right? For closing costs, basically.
I want you to kind of go back and define some of these terms for our audience too.
Okay.
Cash to close. What does that mean?
Cash to close means the total amount that you need to bring to the settlement table to buy your house.
Okay.
So your cash to close amount, everything is paid. Everybody is paid. The title company is paid. Your real estate agent is paid. The loan is paid. Everything is paid. It's one number that pays everything and everybody. And that is called your cash to close amount.
Is that the most expensive part of the home buying process? Or
Yes.
Okay.
So typically, the first time during the home buying process that you would spend any money is when you go to make your offer.
All right.
So in order to have a complete contract offer, you need 4 components. The contract itself, all supporting addendums, your pre-approval letter, which is why everybody say you need to be pre-approved because we need the letter to submit the offer. So while we looking at houses, we can't submit an offer, right? And then your copy of your EMD check. So your EMD stands for earnest money deposit. That is a good faith deposit.
Go ahead, girl.
Given to the seller to let them know that not only are you serious about buying this house, but you also have the funds to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's typically 1% of the sales price.
Okay.
So on a $200,000 home, your EMD check amount will be $2,000. Now, when we submit an offer, we're really only sending a picture. You only produce the actual funds if they accept your contract offer. And then that same money is credited back to you as settlement. So you paid $2,000 up front, right? And let's say your total cash to close is 10. Well, you already paid 2. So now that's 8. And then if you still get the $750 credit help, now you only need $500 for closing.
This is a lot of bullshit. Like, this is a lot of shit.
Like, bro, I'm sitting over here.
This is a lot of shit.
I'm sitting over here.
It's a lot. No, it's a lot.
I just want to get my money, give you the money, and buy the house.
Well, let's do it.
So, like, okay, so with all these moving parts, what is exactly a real estate? What's your job doing this whole thing? Like, what are you supposed to do for the people?
So my job is to pretty much guide you and let you understand and know all and explain all of your options and basically look out for your best interest. As a real estate agent, I'm doing that. I'm getting you in touch with the right people. I'm referring you to different loan officers if you don't have your own. I'm telling you where the title companies are. I'm sending all of the homes that fit your criteria and are in your price range. I'm scheduling appointments. I'm taking you to go see the homes. I am talking back and forth with the agent on the other side. I'm making sure that everything is running smoothly. I'm doing the contract and all the negotiations on your behalf. I am making sure that all the deadlines are met and that the deal is running smoothly. And on the back end, while you sitting at home, relaxing, eating your ice cream, I am the one calling your loan officer, the title agent, making sure that everything is good on the back end. And if a problem does arise, I will work my butt off to fix it before I bring it to my client.
So a real estate agent is essentially optional.
No.
So you need one.
Yes, 1,000%. Unless you want to get screwed.
Okay, so
would you go to court without a lawyer?
See, that wasn't really the question. See, like, do you actually need, you can go to court without a lawyer. You don't need one. Now, when you get fucked over, that's a whole different conversation. So you're saying more like you need one to kind of protect yourself because you don't really know everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is this, right? So my fee is 3%, right? Of that 3%, typically the seller is going to pay 2.5 of that. So as the buyer, you're only on the hook for 0.5%, if that. That's not even all of a guarantee. You might not have to pay me nothing.
Right.
Right. So why would you go and buy a house on your own, do all of the research on your own, schedule all of the appointments? Because what you're doing is you are allowing the seller's agent to basically keep the whole commission while still looking out for the best interest of the seller.
Okay.
So whatever the seller wants is what your contract is going to be. As your real estate agent, I am going to fight on your behalf to try to get you the best deal possible. And me and the listing agent are going to go toe to toe to come up with the best contract. Basically, they're going to be fighting for their client rights. I'm going to be fighting for mine, and we're going to come up with something that's agreeable for both parties. If you don't have a real estate agent going toe to toe, then they're going to say, hey, sign here. This is what it is. And if you get screwed, oh, well, because my due diligence and everything is to my client. I don't owe you nothing. Right. And I'm also going to have you sign something to tell you that I represent the seller and not you. So why would you put yourself in that position? You know, it just don't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I see people, I'm at a point now in my life where I pay for convenience. And like, if I don't really know anything about whether it's real estate or going to court, I'm not going to risk my sanity, first of all, and my time. When I can have somebody else do it for money, I'll pay for it. I'm at a point, I don't even wait in lines no more. If it's $100 to cut a line, I'll do that shit too. So I see what you're saying, but I guess I was just kind of asking, could you technically go through the home buying process by yourself if you really wanted to? That kind of was my question.
Technically, you could.
But you don't advise it.
I don't advise it, and it would be way harder because think about, like, as a real estate agent, I'm sending you properties, or even if you find properties and you send them and say, hey, I want to see this, this, and this. I'm going to set it up easy. I'm going to send you the schedule. Hey, we meeting at 12 p.m. This is the first address, it's the second address, it's the third address, it's the fourth address. If you're trying to do it on your own, then that means you have to go and track down all of these agents, calling them, scheduling times on your own. Half of these agents don't even answer their phone. I schedule a lot of these appointments online without even ever having to talk to the agents before scheduling, because I pay for that right as a real estate agent to do that.
And don't you get access to the homes before they actually list as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, on coming soon status.
What's that?
Coming soon status is when they put a home in the system, but it's not available yet. Like, it's going to be coming on the market soon. So they might say the max time for coming soon status, I believe, is 2 weeks now. So let's say you have a home, you just got the listing, you excited about it, you think it's going to be a hot commodity, you put it on coming soon status, you might just have a picture of the front, a nice little description, price range, and expected date on market.
Can people make an offer on the coming soon before it hits the market?
No.
So what's like the guidelines with that? So you gotta wait a certain period of time or what?
Yeah. I mean, you technically could make an offer, but it wouldn't be really considered or taken serious because it would be sight unseen. Because until it's active, you can't go see it, right? So some people feel like, oh, I'm doing a great job doing sight unseen. But a lot of sellers don't want to do that because it's risky. Because if you have a good agent, they can always get you out of a contract, right? Yeah. So as a seller, why would I accept a contract sight unseen? Where if you come and see it, it might be a chance that you don't really like it as much as you like the pictures or you thought. And then your agent is just going to find a way to get you out the contract, which isn't going to happen until 2 to 3 weeks in the deal. When I can just go with somebody from the jump who has seen it, who actually wants it, and it can go straight through. So a lot of sellers just don't want to take that risk. It don't make sense.
Never thought about it that way. So did I ask you how old are you?
I'm 27.
So you're 27 and have all this knowledge. And you've been doing real estate how long?
3.5 years.
3.5. And back to your firm, the name of your firm again.
EXP Realty.
Who started it? What's behind the name? Give us the story.
So EXP Realty has been around for a while. It is a cloud-based company. It's publicly traded. One of the reasons that I decided to join the company is because they give stock options to all of their employees as an option. So every time I sell a house, they buy a little bit of stock in my name at a discounted price. and the last valuation was 1.4 billion.
Oh shit.
So yeah, and it's probably going to split again in the next 3 to 5 years. It split, I think, about 2 years ago. So I'm trying to get as much stock as I can before that next split.
So
So
essentially, you could be sitting on some heavy money in the next couple of years.
yeah,
Yeah.
potentially. I mean, the potential was there. So and real estate is always a long-term game. So yes, it's a little bit of a hit up front because it's not 100% company, but I feel like the stock options, if I sell enough, is going to be worth it in the long run to really set me up with a little nest egg or, extra little retirement fund. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking long term.
I mean, it's definitely a little bit risky, but to get anything like that, you gotta risk a little bit. I kind of like your strategy with that.
Mhm.
What do you do outside of real estate, like for fun and all that?
I love to eat.
No shit. Give us some of your favorite
I'm
restaurants.
fat as hell. I be everywhere.
You talking about you
okay?
fat as hell? How much you weigh?
I
Like
be
110?
everywhere. No, I do not weigh 110. I weigh like 155.
Stop the cap.
I know, I do. I literally got on a scale earlier today.
155. Give me some of your favorite restaurants.
155. I really like seafood restaurants. Some of my favorite restaurants would definitely be, I would say, the Warehouse in Virginia.
Where the hell is that? That sounds like some bougie ass shit.
It's in Virginia. It's real low key. It's real low key, but it's so good.
Yeah.
The Warehouse, of course. I like this seafood spot in Baltimore called Angie Seafood. I like Poppy's Cuisine in Baltimore.
I keep hearing about Poppy's Cuisine. They say that they damn lamb chops are amazing.
Yes.
I don't eat lamb.
And their crab cakes
Lamb is
are
bomb.
amazing. Salmon is amazing.
You said what?
Lamb is bomb.
Y'all are demonic down here. I don't eat no lamb. Go ahead.
I love Mastro's.
The steakhouse.
It's like a seafood steakhouse. What else do I love?
I'm gonna get canceled for this.
True Lux is good. I've been some days. I like Ocean Air too, but I like the one in Baltimore better than the one in DC.
You got some expensive ass taste, you know that?
What?
Yes.
I'm gonna get canceled for this, but I'm from Maryland. I fucking hate seafood.
Nah, yeah.
Oh.
No.
I love seafood. You don't like you've had it and you don't like it.
It tastes like dirty water.
But you tried it in multiple places.
Yeah.
And everywhere it tastes.
And your friend in the background like motioning and stuff. I'll get to you later. Don't worry.
Well, I don't know. I was born and raised on seafood as early as I can remember. We used to be at the crab, like we was like 7, 6 years old. They was busting down the crabs, and they like, if you can't crack them, you can't eat them. And we was figuring out how to crack them, honey. So I just was raised on it. So for me, it's different. Like I feel like a lot of people just started getting on the wave of seafood in the last 5 years, but like I'm true to this. Like I was raised on this. Like every.
If you from Maryland or DMV area, you pretty much have to eat seafood. It's a requirement, but I'm just saying it's nasty as shit to me. Anyway, back to you.
Fish too, or just like crabs?
Okay, listen, this is what I'll eat. I'll eat some salmon. I think salmon's pretty good.
Love salmon.
Crab cakes.
Okay.
And then the occasional shrimp. But all that like fucking what's that shit called?
Scallops, like the oysters and the scallops. Okay, I feel that. Bro, I don't do oysters. I can't do the texture.
What do you eat then? What seafood do you eat?
I eat pretty much all of it except for the oysters. I eat crab. I eat blue crabs, crab legs. I eat scallops.
Clams?
I don't really eat clams. I do like mussels though.
What the fuck?
I love some mussels. Shrimp, lobster.
Do you know that like lobster is just literally like just fucking underwater cockroaches?
And it's good as hell.
That's shrimp.
What? Nah,
shrimp. And I'm fine with it.
Shrimp are underwater caterpillars.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Y'all demonic right now. Anyway, back to you. So what else do you do for fun besides obviously eat?
I like to work out. I like to do some weightlifting. I like to travel.
What's your best place you think you travel to outside of the country?
Probably the funnest is probably just Mexico. Mexico's always a good time.
Don't tell me you in what's the
Cancun,
hot
Jumbo.
now what's the hot spot now? Fucking
It's on Tulum.
Saloon.
Tulum. I pronounced it wrong.
Nah, that's where you be at, Tulum.
Nah, I've been on like a day trip there, but nah. But I really need to go more places. I feel like I've been like pretty much everywhere in the US, and I'm trying to like go more places out the country. But I really do like to travel, and that's pretty much it. I like to spend time with my family, like in the summertime. If I gotta choose between going to the club or going to my mom's house for a grill day, I'm going to my mom's house. Like,
Yeah.
we have fun. Like, we eat good. We drink. We do what we do. Like, we have a good time. Like, I love spending time with friends and family. I don't really like being out in the mix. Large crowds give me anxiety.
Really?
Yeah.
You getting to that point now? Because I feel like
Mhm.
the older I get, the more I hate loud noises, the more I hate festivals, the more I hate being around people. Like, they were trying to get me to go down. What's that shit called in Charlotte, Dreamville Festival?
Mhm.
The J. Cole joint. J. Cole is my favorite artist, like ever. But as far as like standing around people, being shoulder to shoulder, niggas crazy. I'm like, I don't, like you said, I'd rather just be with my people, hang out, do like so chill, like kickback. I ain't with all that noise no more. The older I get, 'cause I'm 30 now.
Mhm.
So I mean, that's how I feel now. But okay, so next 5 years, where do you see yourself? What you got planned?
The next 5 years, the next 2, 3 years, I'm in grind mode. I am trying to just make a whole bunch of investments. My main goal for this year alone is to end the year with 3 streams of income. I went into it with technically 1, I'm trying to leave out with at least 3.
Oh shit.
And then I want to just keep growing over there of that. Like, I've been researching a lot of different investments I want to make. And I'm just trying to get to a bag. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm focused on is me. Like, I feel like it's my time to shine. I'm focused on investments, growing my money, working on my mental health, in the gym, working on my body, just being the best self, so that 5 years from now, I can be in a place where I have financial freedom. I have no stress. I have my real estate. I have a whole team. I plan on, doing different speaking engagements and stuff, traveling across the country for speaking engagements or work, and just living my best life in the next 5 years.
What are some things you're invested in? Is it like stock, cryptocurrency? What you got going on with that?
So definitely stock options. I haven't really gotten into the cryptocurrency. I'm heavily leaning into tax liens.
Tax liens.
Yes.
I feel like I've heard of that.
Yes.
Because I'm like, see, the thing with me now, I'm like you. I'm to the point now where we don't let money sit. I'm trying to make sure that my money's working for me, and I'm into like a lot of mutual funds, cryptocurrency. I can school you on that if you want to, but also some stock options as well. It's just like I'm just like you said, trying to get to a point where I can buy my time back and not have to necessarily work. I'm gonna be working till the day that I die. But it's me work that's more fulfilling, not work that I have to do. If that makes sense.
Yeah, same.
So, do you want? This is kind of going to segue into our later part of the show. That's kind of getting in that. Do you have time to date around? Do you date? Do you want to get married? Things like that.
Yeah, I've been trying to do a little dating. I'm not gonna lie, it's very exhausting.
Oh shit.
Trying to date and focus on myself. Like, I feel like I have a lot going on within myself, and then trying to give energy to other people is a little exhausting. I'm not gonna lie, but I am dating a little. I don't have aspirations to get married no time soon. I'm not trying to have nobody's baby.
Can I ask why?
I'm just really not confident in the caliber of men that's out here. And so I'm just really focusing on myself right now.
I'm getting your friends asking about we don't need no amens back then. I got you. I got something for you. So you're trying to say the caliber of men are just like, they're just so subpar and below you that you just can't really find one. Is that what it is? Or not, you can't find one, because let's be honest, all women have options.
Stop.
But not options that you want.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay. What you talking about?
It's about to get it flowing.
Yeah, all right, we can
Business.
save that because I have a lot to say on that.
Okay.
I have
All
a
right.
lot,
Fair
'cause
enough.
it's differences.
Anything else you want to kind of talk about? What's the question that you wish I would have asked you, and how would you have answered it? Let's go with that. And back to your business, and what could be personal, like traveling or nasty ass seafood, if you want to talk about that.
Oh, bye. I would say one question that I don't know what I would have wanted you to ask me. I just came with an open mind. I didn't think like, oh, I
Anything you
hope.
wanted to talk about more, like, 'cause I think we pretty much cover all the bases. I feel like I'm pretty much.
I just want people to know that my main goal within my business, like I'm very passionate about educating the community on all things home ownership. And I feel like a lot of people don't know a lot of homeowners or grow up around people who have rented their whole life and feel like that's cool or feel like home ownership is unattainable. And I really hate that because like I just said, I broke it down where it is cases you can literally buy a house for $2,000 out of pocket. So it's a lot of programs and resources out here meant to help you. Like the state will literally give you money to buy a house.
And that's what I wanted to ask you too, before I forget, while my mind's moving. What's your whole take on the rent versus buying thing?
I feel like what people don't realize, especially when you're renting like a house, a townhouse, whatever, all you're doing is not only are you paying someone else's mortgage, you're adding a little bit on top to make it worth it. As a homeowner, you buy a house, you renting it out. Let's say your mortgage is $2,500. You're going to be trying to rent it for $32. Because not only do you want to pay your mortgage, you also want a little pocket change to make it worth it. Otherwise, you would have just lived there, right? So not only are you paying off someone else's mortgage, you're paying a little more on top to make it worth it and get them some money in their pocket every month. You get a 30-year mortgage. Once that 30 years is up, then they start reaping the full amount. And another thing people don't realize when you go to rent a house, your credit score needs to be just as strong, if not stronger, than if you're going to go buy. Because as a private landlord, they want to see your score at a 650 or 700 sometimes, because unlike an apartment complex where it's an actual business and you have insurances, if the tenant that they put in the house, if the tenant don't pay the rent, it's on the owner to pay the rent, because at the end of the day, the mortgage is in the owner's name, not the tenant's name. So they are very strict and a little petty about who they allow to be renting their space, because if you don't perform or you're late, you have until the 15th. The owner has until the 15th to pay the mortgage. If the tenant don't pay their rent until the 20th or the 18th, the owner has to dish out that mortgage for that month out of pocket. So they want to make sure who I'm putting in here. I'm not putting nobody in here with a 580 credit score, because you're high risk. I want the 700s.
So obviously you're more on the fuck that you need to buy a house train than renting.
If you can, I always say you can. And the one thing I will say about the interest rates.
Okay, getting that.
Interest rates are higher right now than they were during COVID, right? But in turn, because the interest rates are higher, the prices is lower, right? So if you can afford to buy right now, you should buy right now. The interest rates at some point are going to go back down. They have to. It's just the way the world works. So when the interest rates go back down, you can always refinance and get a different rate, but you can never change the amount that you bought that house for. So if you buy your house at a lower price for a higher rate, you can refinance in 2 years, 3 years, get the lower rate. You still have the same price, and now you're in a better position, whether you bought the house at a 3.5% interest rate, but you had to pay $50,000 over asking, versus you bought it at 6% and paid $20K under.
So when you say interest rates are high, can you explain what that means? Like, what's a average interest rate like over the past 20 years, and what are they at now, and where should they be, if that makes sense?
So I can't really say where they should be. The interest rates do what they want to do. Just like the stock market goes up and down. It's the same thing, right? Nobody can control. We can't control it. Just like your crypto stuff, you can't control what the market does. Sometimes it's down, sometimes it's up. COVID created more of an unrealistic situation where they dropped the rates down super low. But historically, a lot of people that have bought their homes 20, 30 years ago have double-digit interest rates if they never refinance. So 30 years ago, it wasn't uncommon to see people buying at 12%, 15%, right? That's gone down over time. Of course, during COVID, it was very unconventional time. You saw rates as low as 2.75, 3%. Now we're up to about an average of 6%. But again, it depends on what programs you're using, your credit score, and all of that. But on average, we're at about 6% right now.
Okay. So, but is 2.5 a low interest rate, would you say?
That's crazy though.
Okay. And people
That's
had
crazy,
that in the past.
And during COVID,
Right.
which was a peculiar time.
Right.
A lot of crazy stuff happened during COVID that don't happen on the regular.
Is that why everybody was buying houses during COVID?
Yes.
The interest rates were so low.
Yes, the interest rates was low. Everybody was home and realizing, okay, this ain't enough space. We ain't never all been home at the same time like this.
Like,
People at work, at school and stuff. So so the rates were lower, so people were buying it, and now that they're up, they're a little scared. But I don't feel like people should be scared. They should take it as a blessing because now the prices are down. You can never change the price. You can always change your interest rate.
Okay, so during COVID, interest rates were low, but prices were high.
Yep, because people it was so many people in the market trying to buy because of the low interest rates that the people skyrocket. Like I had clients buyers that we offered $60,000 over asking and still didn't win the bid, meaning that somebody came stronger. People people were doing crazy stuff. So it's like, would you rather be in a situation where you get a low rate, but you have to bid 50, 60, 40,000 over asking to even be considered? Or would you rather have a higher rate that you can change later and only have to bid 5 over asking or maybe 10 under, depending on how long it's been on, and get in the house?
I heard so many damn horror stories during the whole COVID thing about stuff like that. People like you said, going 50, 60, even some cases 70,000 above asking price and still not getting the house. I'm looking back, I'm like, where the hell are all y'all getting this money from? But now that you break it down, the interest rates were kind of low. That makes sense to me now. But now you're saying that's kind of reverse. So basically interest rates are high, but prices of the houses are down now.
And it's not even that rates are high. They're just back to a normal baseline, which people were so used to that low rate that COVID gave us that now that they're scared and they feel like, oh, it's super high. But it's like, guys, this is normal. Like, we're back to normal here.
So will they ever go back down to 2.5% again? Will you think will that ever happen?
I can't say. Maybe if we have another crisis.
Maybe.
But,
so you're just saying like rates that low, is it more of an abnormal kind of thing? Like it doesn't really happen that often. Like it might happen once every 30, 40, 50 years, something like that.
Yeah. Rates that low is not.
Okay.
It's just unrealistic for real.
The next thing I wanted to ask you, does the home buying process look different depending on the state that you're in? Okay, so you're licensed where?
I'm licensed in Maryland and Virginia.
Okay, not DC?
No, my mom is licensed in DC.
Okay. What made you want to choose Maryland and Virginia over, I guess, all the other bordering states?
Because Maryland was just a no-brainer. Maryland was my first license I got. And because I was in partnership with my mom already had Maryland and DC. So it only made sense for me to get Virginia so that we can cover the whole DMV together and not miss no money.
Smart. Any plans to expand outside of that?
Honestly, no. It is a lot of work holding real estate licenses. We have to do continuing education. We have to take classes. We have to pay to keep our license. We have to pay for our state forms. It is a lot to hold more than one license, and I am good.
It's like, so no West Virginia.
No, I'm cool. And who's driving all the way out there? I'm not driving all the way out there.
It really is not that far. It's about 3 hours.
Okay, 3 hours.
You don't got time to drive 3 hours?
That's far for me. Not gonna lie.
But you fly into Cancun and Tulum, we can do that.
Yeah, but I'm not flying back and forth for work. If I have buyers out there, sometimes I take my buyers out 3-4 times a week,
Like out to eat and shit?
No, out to see houses.
I was about to say, God
no,
damn.
no. When they in the home buying process, if they see a house on Monday they want to see, another one pop up, they want to go out again Wednesday, we going out. If they want to go back out again, like as much as my client want to go out and see houses, I'm gonna make myself available to do that. And it's unrealistic for me, knowing that I don't like to drive like that, to commit to that type of stuff 3 hours away. It's unrealistic for me.
Here's an interesting question. What do you say the average amount of homes that you show before somebody buys? Just on average.
On average, it's hard. I would say, on average, I would say about 6.
Is that high or low, you think?
That's low. It's been times where I have people, I've only had to show them 2, 3 houses and they're good. And it's been times like the most houses I've shown one person, and I'm not even being exaggerating, about 50.
You're lying.
I'm not.
50 over what period of time?
Oh, about 2 months span.
50 houses.
Yep, we was going out almost every other day.
That must have been your only client at that point then.
No.
So you were still doing other deals and stuff too on top of that.
Mm-hmm. It's all about time management. I might see 6 houses in a day, 3 different clients, 2 a piece. It just, but that's the thing. Like, it's my job to make every client feel like they're my only client.
Finesse.
That sounds like me and my women. You know,
Mm-hmm.
out of all the women that I have, I want to make sure the one I'm with right now, he's like the only one. What you think about that?
That's between you and the Lord.
I'm fucking with you. Hey, but this has been really good. I like learning a lot of this stuff, and I think you helped the audience out a lot.
I hope so.
Do you want to tell the people where they can find you? Any last thoughts on the show?
Yes, you guys can find me. You can contact me via Instagram at soldby_Tiffany, or you can email me directly at Tiffany@thelucasladies.com. That's LUCASLADIES.com.
Will and Oliver, any thoughts on the show?
Good information.
Yo.
All right. So, Tiff, I guess the question before we transition over, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was a great conversation.
Do you like us?
Of course.
You don't like us still in an hour and a half, you think?
We'll see. We'll see if y'all still like me.
Before we I'm going to tell you this. This has been a fire interview. Guys, tune into our next interview. We have Tiff. Her other friend who's been making faces in the background the whole time. I'm about to get in their ass. This is the Shattered Illusionz Podcast. Kill the fantasy, build the dream. We are out of here.
Free Top G.
Love y'all, boys.
Will I take you to the crank shop?
All right.